You were so important to Arsenal. And at the end of that season, and this is a question that I know Arsenal fans have wanted to put to you since the day you walked out of the door here, why did you leave?
Yeah, I think you can compare with being married. You know, I think me and my wife, Arsenal, were married for 8 years. And then after 8 years, my wife possibly got a bit tired of me. Those are the facts.
How did you know? Your
Well,
wife,
I just felt that because if Arsenal is not offering you a new deal, you can have along the way, you can have different views about things. But the fact is that Arsenal never offered me a deal. So what do you do then? Then you have a look around, then you check if you, because I was ambitious, I still wanted to win the league. Then you look around, and that is life, you know. And then I basically, then it ended up, so I ended up having 3 options. That one option abroad disappeared quite shortly after that. Then it was City or Manchester United. So, but what people don't know during a transfer or during marriage is that behind the scenes, loads of things are happening. Loads of things the fans don't get or they don't see, and you have to take a lot on. You have to make a choice based on what your targets are, but as well deal with the facts. And one of the main issues or facts was that possibly Arsenal got tired of me or whatever reason they had. But the fact was that was the starting point, that they didn't offer me a new deal.
So just to be totally clear, at no point Arsenal came and said to you, Robin, you're our man, here's an extension, here's another couple of years. And did you ever make it clear to the club what you wanted? Did you ever sit down with them? Explain that process.
We had loads of chats. We had chats with Wenger, with Gasidas, with my colleagues. There's like a long process building up to that moment of actually leaving. And during that process, we both we disagreed on a couple of things, which doesn't matter. That happens in marriage as well. But then I just got the feeling that we will not come together, you know. And then that is the moment I had to so what are my options? And then I was looking around because it was quite clear that I was going towards the exit. It was clear that we were not going to find each other. So I looked around, and then towards the end of that process, I had 2 options with City and Manchester United. And Manchester United gave me the best feeling. Sir Alex gave me the best feeling. I really wanted to win.
Was that what it was for you, winning the Premier League?
Yeah, and a challenge as well. It was a challenge, and that is what you go for. And you look at the teams, you look at the coach, you look at privately as well. You look at where my family would live, where my kids go to school. So you take all these things with you, and then I just went on a feeling, and I'm still standing by that. You know, that is what I did. I think if you make a decision like that, you have to stand by it and sort of enjoy it. And I think I did. I'm proud of both times. You know, I don't have a bad feeling towards Arsenal at all. You know, sometimes in life you can have differences.
Well, you told me last night on the phone this is a beautiful place and a beautiful club. So you're obviously still a little bit in love with your ex-wife, huh?
Well, I think you can call it that way, yes. And as well, grateful for the chances Arsene gave me just to play in the best league of the world. You know, I'm grateful and I'm proud of my time here, but I'm proud of my time in Manchester as well.
I'm just thinking, how must Alex Ferguson have felt when he would have got the phone call saying we might be able to take the best player from one of our rivals? I think that's what Robin's saying. I think that's a crucial point in Arsenal's history. When they've decided to let their best player go to Manchester United or Man City, was like, you know, for me that might have been a case where this club's sort of gone, we can't compete with them at this moment, because we've read the stats out at the start of the conversation. You can't take that out of a team and expect to compete. You know, so I think that was probably one of the big reasons Arsenal are in the situation they're in now. Decisions in football, they can come and hit you 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years down the line. And I think letting him go to Man United was the start of the decline for this club, and now they're at a stage where we're rebuilding it.
But that's why it hurt the Arsenal fans so much, is because it was Manchester United. When you made the decision to go to United, were you aware of the feeling that there would be here?
Yeah, of course I'm aware. But in those situations, when it comes to a decision like that, then of course I get that the fans were not happy with me, and I stand by my choice to go. But they didn't really get the whole picture. For example, this quite important fact is that Arsenal never offered me a deal.
When you say your choice to go, the reality is you were not offered. This is a really important point, and we can see you here when you returned for Manchester United, and the returns went well for you in the end. When you sat down with the club and you laid out all of the things that you wanted to see at Arsenal, which you believe would get them to win the Premier League title, which is what you said is important.
What I believed would make us compete.
And if they'd have said to you, okay, you know what, we buy into what you want at this club, we believe that this will make a difference, we'll do it, would you have signed a new deal with Arsenal?
I would have definitely have a serious option with it, and I would definitely look at then the private side of my family as well, because my wife was very happy, my kids were very young but happy. Then I would have an option. Then I would have a decision to make.
But you had no decision.
I had no decision to make, so I had to look further.
Knowing all of that, and you've held on to this for a long time, watching Arsenal fans who understandably don't know the full story.
Yes.
How painful is that you had such a great time here?
Yeah.
And it's not remembered by the fans as fondly as you would hope.
No, I do get how it works, but I don't. It is not that that I feel sorry for myself or whatever. People gave me stick, but that comes with the job, you know, and they do that based on their information and based on what they know or based on what they read. I've chosen not to talk about it for 7 years now, because. Yeah, you know, I was always thinking, what's the point? But now we are 7 years later. I think time heals most things with the fans as well. I think it's good to tell them facts, you know, of what happened then. And I think it's good to tell them that I don't hold any grudge towards Arsenal whatsoever. You know, I had a fantastic time here. They looked after me, and I'm proud of my time in England in general.
Robin was top goal scorer in the league at the time, and Sir Alex Ferguson brought us into a meeting room, and we all thought he was going to give us a pat on the back and say, well done. He said, I brought a player in who's making runs. He showed us about 6 or 7 clips. He had probably about 30. And he hammered Michael Carrick, Scholesy, me, other players.
He literally
You're
said,
not passing the ball. He's going to win you the league if you pass him the ball like this. And we wasn't.
He literally said to Scholesy, Carrick, Chingy and Wayne, if you cannot find him, you will not play.
Really? And me.
Literally.
You've always found him, man. It was easy for you.
No, but I mean, and then if you fast forward the season, one of the probably most standout goals of the season.
It was a process of a couple of months.
Yeah, it was a process, but one of the most standout moments of that season, Wayne Rooney gets the ball, plays a 30-yard ball into him, he volleys it in the back of the against Aston Villa, we win the league.
Not a bad goal.
But if that conversation doesn't happen in that office, there's a chance that goal might not get scored because Wayne might not look for that run. But it's in the back of your mind now. The manager's put that in your mind. Look forward for this man running. And today was one of the common factors in the game today was Man United players on the ball in the middle of part of the pitch especially were not looking forward for the runners because Man United were making some very good runs and for a forward that's demoralising.
So playing with all these great players, Henry, I got Perez here, Reyes is here as well.
Yeah.
Like, what did you learn from these guys and these shirts? Like, it must have been a crazy apprentice stage for you.
Yeah, exactly. I was like a kid in the sweet shop. I was so happy. And then at one point, the manager came to me because I was still very young. I was playing not in a mature way, which is sometimes good, but sometimes you have to know, you always have to find the balance. So Arsene came to me, he said, Robin, why are you not a top player? I said, I don't know, tell me. He said, no. He said, have a look. He said, just look around. I was like, okay, hang on. I can take a little bit of him, a little bit there, a little bit here. I was like very open-minded and I was not in a rush. But I was just so open and ready to learn from the best players.
But that was a big year for you. Obviously, Wenger called that the goal of the lifetime. You got the crucial equaliser against United when Henry scored the winning header.
Yeah.
Would you say this is like the year you found yourself in an Arsenal shirt?
Yeah, especially that goal. Sounds a bit weird, but that was my first big goal against a big team. And that moment when I hit it, I was like, against Van der Sar, he was on goal. I was like, yes. But at the same moment, on the way I landed, I broke my metatarsal.
Yeah.
But the first 2 months really got me through it because of the goal. I was like, okay, yeah, but I can do it, you know. It's proof that I can score against the big guys.
Now that year was like the last season for Henry. Did that provide more pressure for you in an Arsenal shirt to become the main man?
Yeah, but I didn't realize it straight away, to be fair, because Thierry came to me just before he left, Thierry Henry, and he said, Robin, he said, it is your time to shine now. I was like, yeah, okay, but because I was playing as a number 10, sometimes on the wing, he said, no, he said, you have to take over my role. I said, I'm not sure, I don't think I'm a striker. I can play
really?
behind. Yeah. So he said, no, he said, you should go for that. He said, be the main guy and work hard for it, and you have it in you. I was like, okay, thanks very much. Then Arsene, because I asked the coach, Arsene Wenger, I said, you're gonna buy a striker or not? He said, no. I said, I think you should, because we're a little bit short there. He said, you are my striker. I said, boss, I'm not sure if I can do it. I like to play in behind, I like to touch the ball. He said, no, you can do it.
Okay, then the next season after you become number 10, you have your best season for Arsenal, 30 Premier League goals,
Yeah.
PFA Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Was this your most confident you've ever felt in a football shirt?
Ooh, good question.
Thank you.
Yeah, this year and the year after.
We're gonna get there.
We're gonna get there. Yeah. So this year, yes, and this is as well. This is a whole process. I think that year I scored 37 goals, but it should have been 40 or 50.
That jump from final to that Arsenal team of 2004, and you walk into the dressing room. Dennis Bergkamp must have been one of your heroes.
Yes.
Thierry.
Yeah.
Patrick was still there.
Yeah.
One of the great teams of English football. How was that for a young Robin van Persie walking into that dressing room?
What made me sort of relax is that I had a chat with Arsene, and we both agreed that I wasn't a top player yet. But I said, okay, but I want to become one. He said, okay. He said, the first 1.5 years, every minute you play in the first team is an extra minute. Just look at it that way. Take it easy. There's no rush. Learn from Dennis, learn from Henry, learn from Perez, learn from Ljungberg, and just be open-minded about it. He said, I will not judge you the first 1.5 years.
Yeah.
He said, and that gave me a lot of peace.
You had great moments though in the first 4 years at Arsenal. And Arsenal clearly trusted you. You took a penalty in the 2005 FA Cup final.
That was my first year, at the end of my first year.
Incredible. That must have given you massive confidence.
It was one of my scariest moments of my career.
Yeah.
Because I never took a penalty in my life before.
Wow.
Not even as a youth player.
Wow.
Never.
Did Arsene know that when he selected you?
It's a funny story. Edu, he knew that he was about to leave as well. And he got a little bit scared. And he was the third penalty taker. So he was like, yeah, okay, I will take it. And then a couple of seconds later, he's like, Arsene, I don't feel good. It's my last kick. I don't want to mess it up. Then Arsene said, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Who wants to take it?
Yeah.
And I was like, me.
Yeah.
And I was like, when I did that, I was like, you know what? One of them. I was like, oh, no. And then he said, okay, you take it. And then on the walk at Cardiff, because I was playing at Cardiff, towards the ball, I thought, you know, I'm gonna do a confidence chip up. I'm gonna it will keep you happy. Yeah. It went wrong, you know. I wanted to just the easy one, click, click, and then in my hand, but it went click, click, and it went the other way. I went after that ball, and I was like, okay, this is not going as planned. And then I was like, okay, choose your corner, focus on the ball, focus on your standing leg. And I did that, and it went in very nice.
Relief.
And then it went in the back of the net, and I was like, yeah, okay.